Hey, gang. Welcome back to Rolling Sober. This is episode 13. We're titling it Normie Girls because we already know what we're going to talk about. We are combining the power of choking fools with not getting high since 2023. And I am Coach James.
And I am Zach, Wipeout Zach if you're nasty. And James, I got to just say something off the bat. This is our second episode of the day recording, and my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation Jiu-Jitsu Paulista shirt is completely soaked through, and I'm going to have to make a really just wild move right now. Just give me 1 second.
Go ahead. Do your thing, buddy. I'll just sip on my mushroom coffee here. White belt Zach's taking his shirt off, ladies and gents. He has no shirt on.
It's provocative, dude. It's this is now officially. I just looked on the news right now. Is the hottest day on record, but I mean record of all records in Sao Paulo for this time of year. So December 28th, 29th. These last 2 days have been the hottest. December 28th and 29th to date us is since history began, since the Portuguese came here. So it's hot as balls. I have AC in my house, but only in one room, and it has to spread. And my office is kind of like in a nook away from it. So we're toasty up in here. We are 39 degrees Celsius, which for you freaks up north is about 101, but we're talking like 90% humidity. So it's a vibe, and I love it.
And you don't have AC in your house?
I have AC in my room where I sleep, which is, I don't know what I would do otherwise. My lady lives down the street and she does not. And so now her house is my house is her house. Like she sleeps at my house now because it's been crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm still drinking this sweet hot coffee. Got myself re-upped from last episode. It's because, you know, it's what they tell you. You got to drink a hot drink on a hot day to cool down, you know, so your body knows what to do.
Yeah, you moron.
Drinking cold stuff, you're going to try to heat you up. What do you got there?
So I've got a mushroom coffee here. No coffee in it, actually. It's got cacao. It's got lion's mane and chaga and reishi and all these other adaptogenic mushrooms. And it's got a little bit of black tea in it, so just a tiny bit of caffeine.
Just a little bit of a kick. Are you comfortable shouting out which organization you're purchasing this coffee from? I know there's lots of them out there.
I think this one's Mudwater. In fact, I know it's Mudwater.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My lady bought it.
I think.
Yeah.
I've been getting blasted. Me and my lady have an inside joke right now. I've been getting absolutely blasted because of my Google searches for how to improve my gut health and not feel like shit, and also get rid of my dad bod, which I think are the keywords to every Instagram ad for either Rise or Mudwater or any of these mushroom coffee things. So it's a joke now. There are memes down here. I'm getting advertised to in English and in Portuguese to drink some mushroom coffee because apparently my body's awful. Yeah. So that's what's going on over here in terms of
Did you try any of it yet?
Advertising. Not yet, man. And it's funny. There's a few down here. I think Rise distributes down here.
Great. Rise is good. Rise is really
good. Okay. What do you think about it? My gal is okay. She seems to think it's kind of snake oil a little bit, like the way that they show like before and after pictures on Instagram of these dudes with pancettas, you know, little paunches, and then they lose it as soon as you start drinking the Rise. I don't know if
I don't know that it's an immediate thing, but I do know that it's sort of like a natural replacement for like ADHD medication. Like it helps you focus. Yeah, like I think it's lion's mane, or is it chaga? One of the two helps you focus, and I do feel the difference when I drink it.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not guarantee. I wouldn't guarantee that it's going to like make somebody lose weight, but they're adaptogenic, so they help you deal with stress as well. So
I think that's what it is. The whole argument they have is I got too much cortisol from all this fucking 8 coffees I'm drinking a day and life stress that my gut is holding fat. Apparently, is where they say it melts off once you get that under control. So we'll see, man.
Okay.
Hey, you're pumping it and you're drinking it on the pod. I should give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel the difference when I drink it. It's nice. I also want to point out that when I was studying recently, they were talking about the effects of stress on the body, and it's like, I mean, it's just a scientific fact. It's brutal for your body. It's brutal, and it's brutal for your psychology as well. You know, it'll really mess you up. And my dad will be really happy to hear me say that positive thinking is really, really powerful. You know, it does. I mean, it's in the placebo effect. You can see it. Just believing that something is going to help you helps you.
100%.
So
yeah, keeping a positive attitude to it.
You think that Rise is going to help you, then it'll help you.
You know what? That's it. I'm taking this. I don't care if it doesn't work. I've noticed that even just in moving down here, you know, and changing my life up, just resetting my my logistics in my life and my financials and all this stuff, and just kind of moving to a place where I'm not as stressed out, and the culture and all that, all the little environmental changes have taken the weight off my shoulders a little bit, and I've noticed it like in my skin. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like not breaking out as much. I'm like, feeling more just hydrated and energetic, and yeah, it's truly wild what super intense capitalism does to the body. So we got these like actual topics today, and one of them I wanted to bring up because I thought it was something that I think a lot of people can is curious about and also can relate to in the sober community. Is me and you have something in common besides being handsome gentlemen with facial hair who do jujitsu and drink too much coffee.
Uh-huh,
Is
uh-huh,
that we
uh-huh.
are our partners, our respective partners are not sober. They're not, addict necessarily. They're not people who have issues with drug and alcohol. It's just the opposite. They're someone who don't people who don't experience those sort of things and who just can casually have a drink like we can't, and navigating that, having being a someone in recovery or sobriety who has a partner who they love very much and who is supportive and great, but who is not sober, and how do
Yeah.
we navigate those
Yeah.
social events and
They call
whatnot.
that a normie, right? So our partners are normies, my wife, your maybe soon to be wife.
Mm-hmm.
They're
My maybe
normies, and
baby.
a normie is somebody who can drink without it ruining their life. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's most people. I think
Yeah.
most people are normies. It's funny, I know so many people who are probably undiagnosed alcoholics that it's
Sure.
in my mind, I'm like
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
but it's
Right.
because I work in nightlife so much. But yeah, like, I'll buy my wife a drink when we go out to dinner, and I'm happy for her, and she doesn't care about how fast she's drinking it. And I'm like, are you going to finish that? And sometimes
Yeah.
she doesn't because she doesn't care,
Yeah.
and it's
Right.
just an incredible thing to behold, but
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't make any
Mm-hmm.
sense to me, but makes plenty of sense to her. If I could drink like that, I would still be drinking,
Of course.
because
Yeah.
if I
Same.
could just have a glass of wine, I would still be drinking. Oh, speaking of a glass of wine,
Mm.
incredible news. Okay. They're getting more proliferate with their non-alcoholic wines. You can get them at Trader
Ooh,
Joe's, right?
interesting.
And for someone who hasn't had a glass of wine in 8 years and thought that they would never have a glass of wine again, it was so awesome to have a glass of wine with my dinner the other day. So these non-alcoholic wines, they're not exactly the way that wine tastes, but they're getting
Of
close,
course.
man. And
It's
it's
pretty
just
easy.
like
Yeah.
wine that they de-alcoholize. And
And we're not
it's
talking grape juice. We're talking it's
we're
wine, but it's
talking
just
like
yeah.
wine that's been de-alcoholized, man, and it's such a thrill to be able to have a glass of wine as someone that's been sober this long, you know?
Yeah.
But let's go back to our normie partners, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like I said, I'll buy her a drink when we go out. She is not obsessed with it. She can put it down, take it or leave it. And it's not difficult for me, but I could see it being difficult for someone who's new in sobriety, having their partner continue to drink. But I know plenty of people who have done it. I know plenty of
Yeah.
people who have gone through it and got to the other side where they're just like, you know what? It's not for me. And usually you have to hit rock bottom pretty hard to be ready to do anything to recover.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And if you're having a hard time with it, you can, if your partner loves you, they're probably going to be cool with being like, I'm going to chill out on the drinking for a bit while you're getting through this initial phase.
1,000%. Yeah, I think that's the big thing. I think a very common thing is because it's an unwise decision, and most sponsors and people who are in recovery with you when you first start out will probably say, maybe if you're single, don't maybe it's not a great time to date like your first 6 months of sobriety. Like that's sort of like
Mhm.
the Sandra Bullock movie 28 Days, where they say like maybe start with the plant, then try to see if you can keep that alive, and then a pet, and then start dealing with people once
Mm.
you're kind of got your shit together a little bit and you're not
That's
as
great advice.
mixed up. I think it is
Get a
great.
plant. That's
Get a
good.
plant first and maybe a cat after that, and then you can start dealing with actual human beings. And being able to give them the emotional things necessary when you're fully in recovery mode. I think it's the big thing that happens is so you're already recovered. Like when I met my lady, I was like, I'm a pretty confidently sober dude. Like I'm like, there's no chance. I got years
Yeah.
under my belt, and I'm like
Yeah. I'm
feeling
not
really
giving
good
that up.
about my decision. Yeah, it's a part of my personality basically now. And I think for normies, when they get with someone like that, it might be like a little bit sort of intriguing, but also not a red flag, but some kind of flag where you're like, oh, this person had experience in their life that forced them to stop drinking. That's kind of crazy. But to some people, if they're not, don't have that in their lives with people they know and love, which nowadays is kind of almost impossible. I think most people have people in their life who have been through recovery or have issues with drugs and alcohol and can be empathetic towards it in just a pretty baseline way. But a big thing is like, is this going to be, I think in their mind, it's, is this going to be a problem? And in our minds, it's like alcoholic is like, is this person going to resent me for not getting drunk with them? You know, am
Right.
I going to miss out and stuff? And I
Yeah, no,
think,
that can happen for sure. You
oh
know what I
yeah,
mean?
I think the most important thing is that that partner you're with is if they, yeah, what you said, if they love you, it's not a big deal. And I think if you're
Right.
having issues with this, it's probably more to do with the relationship itself. If you're with someone who's like, oh, I hate that you're sober, it's probably not the person to be with if you're a sober person.
No, I
Pretty
mean, because
simple.
the thing that's on the line is life or death, man. You know,
Hmm.
like if we drink, we're gonna live a miserable existence or die, or live a
Hmm.
miserable existence until we die, and we're gonna continue creating wreckage. We're gonna continue burning bridges. We're gonna lose jobs. We're gonna crash our car and hurt somebody. Like that's what's on the line for
Hmm.
us, you know.
Hmm.
And yeah, or just live like a really like middling existence where you don't have any idea what you're capable of because like some people are high bottom drunks they call them, where they
Hmm.
don't need to go all the way down to the bottom to be an alcoholic. We come in many shapes and sizes. Our main issue is that we can't stop drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think putting the stakes almost on the higher end, like it's not even being hyperbolic because it's true. That is the case for most alcoholic folks who have to enter recovery. It's life or death. But to say that to partner, because I think sometimes people will meet someone who, if I say like to an acquaintance at a bar, like, oh, I don't drink, and they're like, oh, you don't drink tonight, or you don't, you're not drinking ever. Like I get that a lot, especially working on cruise ships. I'll tell people I'm a sober. I don't say I'm sober. I'm like, oh, I don't drink. And they're like, ever. That's their next thing. You don't drink ever. And I think maybe some partners who don't have recovery in their history with people or don't know about it are kind of like, oh, like, yeah, I get you're sober, but like we can have like a glass of wine when we get married, or you know what I
Right.
mean? Or like you can have champagne at the wedding. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's kind of like a no thing. Like, and I think putting that in that perspective and like being honest with your partner, if you're just starting to date someone who you really like,
Yeah.
and if you haven't said it on the first date that you're sober, like you want to broach the topic, you can say it in a way that's like, this is a good thing about this is a positive trait. It's not a bad trait.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
something that I do take very seriously.
Yeah, you're gonna get homeostasis with me. I'm not gonna be ping
Mhm.
ponging between two altered states,
Mhm.
hungover and drunk, and then you don't know which
Right.
version of me you're gonna get. Like, this is me.
Yeah. And I say it's a trade off. Like, so we might not have a night where we like kind of joke about, oh my God, we were so drunk and wasn't that fun or whatever. But
Right.
what you're going to get in return, I think, for me being my own salesperson, I guess, to somebody
Yeah.
and for sober people, like I think it's better. I think
Yeah.
that it's worth the whatever story we have from Cabo San Lucas. Like it's gonna be better just overall, the kind of person I am. Because I'm still an interesting freaky person. You know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah.
we get worried that, oh, we're boring. Like, no, we're not. We're sober people. We're not
Yeah.
gonna be boring, you know?
I said this on another podcast recently. A friend of mine invited me onto his podcast, and I was saying that it occurred to me I was driving to my recovery job, which I'm no longer working at, but I have a lot of love for my coworkers and the boss. But I was driving there, and I was driving past some folks who were experiencing homelessness, and they were literally smoking meth out of a meth pipe. And I know because I've been there. And I'm driving past them, and I was just thinking to myself, God bless them, but the gutters are full of men who never lost their edge. It's
Mhm.
like for me, I had this thing of, well, if I get sober, I'm gonna lose my edge. I'm gonna like that's a part. I'm like a lone wolf. I'm
Mhm.
dangerous.
Mhm.
And it's just stupid. It's so dumb. And that like hanging on to your edge is so delusional
Mhm.
because I mean, on the other side of it, like we just talked about it recently, I'm still crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't
Still
go
like
away.
I'm
Yeah.
still wild.
Mhm.
Trust me, I'm edgy.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm much more
Yeah.
of a sweet, sweet man, and I will like go out of my way to be kind and helpful. But yeah, I'm still edgy.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. For
it's
those
there's
people who,
nothing cooler and edgier and sexier than being kind. Nothing.
yeah, 100%. I think for those people who are like newly sober, some of our buddies who show up to rolling sober and have like a few weeks on them and stuff, and they're kind of worried about like, what am I going to do at parties? How am I going to talk to, people I'm trying to get with? And it's like, I think if you just know, like it might not be true for every single person you talk to, but I think it's kind of, especially in Los Angeles and like a major city where you have people who are pretty open minded and looking for different kinds of experiences and all this stuff. saying that you used to drink and now you don't drink because it was so crazy and you're sober, and like just the ability and the mental fortitude it takes to go through that journey is a sexy thing. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's for a lot of people that I've heard of, like my friends who are not sober, who and normies I've talked to about it, are like, "Oh no, I think like being sober is sexy." And most of the, my partner right now is like, "I think it's a cool part of you. It's not like
Yeah.
a turn off." You know what I mean? It's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, you're more interesting in that way," which is
Yeah.
cool. And just knowing that.
I won't be naming any names, but my partner's previous partner was someone who would get blasted,
Mhm.
and then she didn't know what version of him she was gonna get, so when she got with me and I was a sober dude, like, it was something that she, like, really, really appreciated, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That just like, "Oh, he's not gonna get drunk and start some crazy fight with me or whatever,"
Right.
you know?
I think some people are worried that normies, when they get with someone who's sober, they're thinking about the possibility of you falling off the wagon, right?
Yeah.
That's like their
Yeah, she
fear of it,
100%.
and I think that's valid, but it's also something that, you can reassure them as much as you need to or want to about that. And it's another reason to stay sober, obviously, if
It
you're with
is
someone
also a
who's,
possibility, though,
yeah, oh,
you
100%.
know?
Yeah, it is, and I think to the normies listening, it's not something that you should treat as like a time bomb, or some some prophecy, or some. It's definitely not an inevitability for sure. I mean, most people,
Mhm.
I think, once they get to a comfortable place in their sobriety, can stick it out. And not to say that people don't relapse; it's obviously a thing.
Mhm.
But
They
it's something
relapse with a
that,
lot of time sometimes.
oh yeah, and I think it's something that if you love somebody, same thing. Like the love will prevail if that happens, and knowing you don't necessarily. I don't think it's. I guess I could ask this as a question to you, and if the listeners want to think about it, like, do you think it's appropriate if you're with someone and you know it's a serious relationship and you've talked about, hey, you're sober, they're cool with it, everything's groovy, maybe you're moving in together and stuff. If you're like actively still working like a program and stuff, do you think it's is it a lot to put on somebody to have them maybe go to Al-Anon if they don't, if there's no issues, like if it's feeling good, do you think you want them to have those like skills and stuff in case of relapse, or do you not even broach it?
I don't broach it unless they're interested,
Yeah, I think
unless I'm
that's
like, if you're like curious about how to deal with me, because I'm still capable of being like emotionally insecure and immature,
mhm.
and that part of that's alcoholism because sometimes our emotional growth is stunted by our usage.
Yeah.
And so if ever like I get into a state like that, I'm like, if you want to I know that there are definitely techniques for dealing with someone like me, and there's
Mm.
like a level of understanding, and there's people that know what it's like going through it. And I think that overall I'm pretty well behaved. I apologize quickly when I mess up and stuff like that. So I don't think it's like as big of an issue for Maeva as it is for some other
Mhm.
folks. But there's support there for people,
For sure.
who love someone who's an addict, even if it's not in recovery, if they're still in their active addiction, especially. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, for people who are in recovery as well, like their partners who are with somebody who's in recovery.
100%. There are literal books written on the subject. If you're with
Exactly.
somebody who's in recovery and you're not, and you're new to it, it's a new relationship and you don't really know. Yeah, you could definitely, if you're curious about that or if you're noticing things.
Yeah,
That's cool, man.
Al-Anon.
Al-Anon, baby, it's what it's called. I think there's, like all forms of recovery, there's like branches of different ways of doing with it too. There's lots of like psychological literature now on just sort of, I think what we call dry drunk in the program, but there's just certain, like you said, stunted things. Most of the time, people who are alcoholics or addicts have a thing other than
Yeah.
that those things are a response to whatever issues they have, whether it's trauma or whatever, lots of stuff. And yeah, as a partner you can check out how to do all that and deal with that, and
Yeah.
it's very, very cool and makes the relationship so much more intimate and just like filled with love and energy if you don't have to focus on all this stuff. But it's so nice if you have the tools to cross those bridges when you
Yeah.
want to and
But
need to.
also if someone's being a dick and you don't,
Yeah,
it's not your responsibility to take care of them, and
a 100%.
you don't need to learn how to deal with someone who's a dickhead, you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, you don't need to get a psychology degree to have like a boyfriend or girlfriend. Like, that's not necessary, but it's also it's something that like it can be not thought of as a chore, I think is what I'm trying to say. Like
Sure.
you can do it as like a fun's a crazy word for it, but like
No, yeah, for sure.
it's a relationship building thing,
Yeah.
that you can be joyful in it together of like, hey, we're helping each other be better. It's like going to the gym with your partner or something, It's like that kind of self us bringing each other up kind of thing. But
100%.
Speaking of going to the gym with your partner and just getting your shit together, man, it's really hitting me. Feeling old. And the other topic we wanted to talk about
Mhm.
is being a jujitero after 30. It's a well-worn topic, but man, is it hitting me. So I wanted to hash it out with you and
Oh
ask
my
some.
gosh, I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30.
I know, samesies.
And I am, like I was experiencing sciatica recently, which kept me off the mat for a bit, which by the way, terrible for your mental health if it's something that you've
Mhm.
come to rely upon to get you out of those little hamster wheel moments.
Big time.
So, mental health also really affected by doing exercise. Once again, there's plenty of evidence about that, but obviously we all know that at this point. But yeah, keeping your body injury proof into your 30s and 40s is pretty difficult when you're doing jujitsu, man, because it's hard on your body, you know?
Mhm.
That's one of the prices of admission, kind of, doing
Mhm.
jujitsu. I've said it many times before. It is not about if you get injured, if you do jujitsu on a long enough timeline, you're probably going to experience an injury of some kind. You're going to get a sore back. You know, you're going to get, aches and pains and stuff like that at the very least.
Stub
And
toes, little stuff at least. Yeah.
yeah, and blisters and maybe even cauliflower ear, you know what I mean?
Sure.
None of these
Yeah.
things are necessary. There's ways to avoid a lot of
Mhm.
this stuff, but the chances are definitely not zero. And
No.
in order to here's my suggestion for people as someone who's a tack fit coach and has been doing tack fit for a long time, find a system, an exercise system that you move in many different directions and in many different ways so that on a neurological level your neural pathways are strong in movement. Okay, that's step one, like getting
Mhm.
mobile, right? And moving in a lot of different directions. Tack fit's really great for that because there's all of this flow fit stuff where you're bending and you're twisting and stuff like that. Yoga's great for that as well. But like
Mhm.
rolling around in a flow state is really good for keeping your brain connected to your body. Because if you lapse for a moment and you do something thoughtlessly, the chances of you landing weird on your neck are right through the
Yep.
roof, right? And then the other thing is tapping early, you
Yeah.
know? Like tapping
Huge.
before, yeah, dude, don't be a tough guy. Don't sit there and be like, I think I can get out of this really deep armbar. Just tap.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Just tap and then
Mhm.
restart, and that's gonna keep you injury proof,
A lot of it is pride, right? It's just like thinking
Yes.
of it as a combat sport, and with thinking of it more as the combat instead of the sport. It's like I gotta
Yeah.
win a thing. It's my pride is on the line or my
Yeah.
whatever. None of that matters, especially when you get older, man. I mean,
Yep.
it's a common thing. You just start to notice, like when you go out. Not that we go out drinking, but if you go out to venues or whatever, and you see like young guys, just how quick they are to anger and stuff. And the
Yeah.
older you get, the more you just laugh at it. It's kind of like that jujitsu. Like you don't need to prove anything to the 21-year-old you're rolling with.
No, 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 and the other thing is jujitsu dudes aren't going out and getting in fistfights with other jujitsu dudes.
Heck no.
You know what I mean? Like, we all have, like, a respect and understanding of what can happen, out there on the street. You get dropped on your neck weird or land on your knee weird. Like, we're not trying to go out and fist fight people,
No.
you know? And so, like, when you're in the gym fighting another high-level chess player, sometimes you're gonna get checkmated, and that's part of it, learning how you
Yeah.
lost and, like, how to
Mhm.
lose gracefully. It's
Mhm.
like all of that stuff is really powerful learning
And just
lessons.
risk reward, like a reward of the stakes of it. Like, oh, sure, I'm gonna win against this like person who's much bigger than me or much younger than me, but then my fucking neck's gonna not work for 2 weeks, and I won't be able to train, and I'll be depressed, and then I'm gonna fucking blah 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 blah, and it's like so many
Yeah.
bad things can come out of an injury that. Or think about that compared to like losing and feeling like you're not as good as someone. Who cares?
Yeah, even talking about your neck getting hurt just made my neck tighten up.
Yeah, I heard it crack up a little bit. It's like, oh baby. So I had this lingering. I brought this up because it's been affecting me the last like 2 3 months, dude. I've only been to the gym like 3 or 4. This week is my first time back, and it feels so great to be back like fully
Yeah.
training again. But this
Yes.
whole last two work trips, I was planning on training in Florida and different places I was, and I just couldn't do it, man, because I had this injury that's been happening. I think before I even moved down here, I remember like I had a just an old man. I think I turned 36, lifted a box, weird, from the top shelf in my closet. And then, like, I think I compressed the disc slightly that night. And then I went and
Mhm.
played a gig on piano that night and sat in that sort of piano upright position. But it was
Yeah.
it because you're using your legs, you have not a lot of support in your lower back. And dude, I couldn't walk home that night. So I remember that was like the first onset of this injury. And it's just constantly like if I roll a lot or if I am doing a lot of I think it's anterior motion, like where I'm basically doing a bridge, like bridging up and my lower back is going like that,
Yeah.
then I'm irritating it. And if I do it enough, it gets to the point where it seizes up and I can't walk. It's
Okay.
like really fucked up.
So if you're
And it's
bridging,
mhm.
okay.
And I think the problem is I was doing jujitsu and I wasn't doing what you're talking about, like the other training that you need to do along with it, where my strength training. So my glutes were garbage. My hamstrings have been garbage for the last 2 years, I think. And because of that, and then I had this ankle injury where I broke my ankle training 2 years ago. And talking to my PT I have the last few months down here, she was like, "Oh, this all makes sense. Like your right ankle got jacked up, so you had to be in a boot. You were putting everything on your left side. It totally weakened your muscles in the posterior chain, and then you lifted a thing, and there was no support, and now your whole left side is still jacked up from that. And because you're what's the word for it? A anatomical or whatever, I'm still kind of offset like that. I need to completely rebuild all those muscles. Otherwise, it's going to keep getting re-injured. So with that in mind, I've been doing that now. I got these exercises from different PTs I've had, and then also my personal trainer I have down here now. We're focusing my butt. I mean, it makes sense living down here in Brazil, but my life is just so focused around my butt now, like getting my butt nice and juicy and strong and doing tons of glute exercises and core exercises to try to strengthen the muscles around my back so I can deal with
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
I feel great now because it's like I'm not fixed, but I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel and feel my body much more. I was like totally doing like the duck butt thing, where I was putting so much pressure on my lower back and having that get adjusted now. Also, my Instagram from looking all this stuff up and trying to fix it is it's just mushroom coffee and how to get duck butt fixed, like how to like all these like
Do it.
psoas tightener or psoas releasing tools and shit like that. But hey, man, whatever works. There's lots of tools out there to try to get your body feeling good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something I'm so aware of now when I'm rolling. Getting injured, I think, helped that a lot too. That injury I had a while back where I broke the ankle and then I came back to training. Like I'm so hyper aware of where my feet are and where
Yeah.
and like you're saying, like just being very thoughtful and in the present when I'm rolling. I'm super aware now, like, oh, this is sketchy. I'm just gonna abandon this position or I'm gonna, make sure I'm really supporting myself when I bridge instead of just
Yeah.
fucking flailing.
Right.
It's part of it's not being a spaz.
Oh yeah. Yeah, being mindful of your movement. The other thing that's really simple but really effective is hydrating. Being
Yeah,
hydrated, like being dehydrated and getting on the mat and then getting put into a there he goes, he's gonna drink some
doing it.
water. I mean, it's essential, obviously. Getting enough sleep and getting enough water are really gonna help you stay injury proof, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then doing some mobility stuff after you roll, doing some stretching slash mobility stuff, that's also super helpful. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, man, like it all works together and it's gotta be holistic. If we're just hopping on the mat, dehydrated and underslept and, we're moving in weird ways, it's just a we're ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more important I try to do the stretching I can. I mean, the warm-ups here are pretty thorough and stuff, and I feel pretty warm most of the time when I'm rolling. But I definitely don't always cool down and stretch at the end. Do you think stretching like this routine you do after you're rolling, is this a full body thing? Is this like a full session of like stretching every muscle group, or is it just sort of the things that felt weird that session, or how you
I mean, you can
prefer?
do either one. It's better than nothing, right? If you
Right.
weren't doing any kind of mobility work before and then you start doing like targeted to specific muscle groups, then yeah, it's better than
Mhm.
nothing. But yeah, I like try to go through and move my spine a bit and my neck,
Mhm.
keep it mobile, keep it lubricated, and then I'll stretch your core, stretch your glutes, and I think that it helps. I think it helps a lot. I mean, I know that it
Mhm.
helps. Doing
Yeah.
mobility after you work out.
After, yeah. Do you think it's more
Yeah.
important after or before? It doesn't I mean, both things are kind of
Both things are
important.
both things are important. You gotta warm up and cool down. And the warm
Yeah.
up for me, because I'm a tack fit dude, is a joint mobility warm up. It's not like stretching per se. It's more like
Mhm.
just getting my body warm before I start doing the thing.
Mhm.
I mean, you
And
guys
then
do warm-ups before you start rolling, right, in your class?
yeah.
Or
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
flow
for
roll?
sure.
Flow roll's fine too, but
We
it's
don't
better,
really
I think.
flow. It's sometimes we'll flow roll if it's like press for time, or also oftentimes like in the particular class we have private classes that are smaller, that are like 2 or 3 people, and in those sometimes that'll just be kind of like a flow roll vibe, or like warm up on your own. People do like jumping jacks or whatever, but like I
Mhm.
think it's when it's done right, it's usually running around doing the different kinds of running, jumping jack type vibes, and then doing, shrimps and that kind of, it's mostly like the cardio warm up type stuff. There's not a ton of stretching involved. The class I go to tonight actually is it's like the biggest class of the week. There's tons of people there always. And we usually do kind of a more stretch based thing, where we'll do some bridges, we'll do some shrimps, but then we'll also touch our toes and do all that kind of stuff.
I mean, you're still warming up your joints, especially if you're touching your toes. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's all. I mean, it's all good stuff. It's warm up, it's cool down, it's drink water, it's get enough rest, you know?
Hmm.
Pretty standard stuff. There's not like a magic bullet. It's like the magic bullet is the normal like stuff that we all know we need to do, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It
Tap
is sort of
early.
that thing. I'll never forget, man. I think you told me we were training, and after we were training, I was like, you were getting ready for a show, and you were like working your abs a lot. We're doing like some ab routine or something, and I was like, oh man, how do I get abs? How do I get like a 6 pack going on? And you're like, do you eat bread? And I was like, yeah. Do you eat sugar? I was like, yeah. You're like, yeah, don't do that. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It's like just usually it is like a Occam's razor, like the most simple, obvious thing. You just got. I know like it sucks, but it is the thing. Like drink
Yeah,
water,
and it's
don't eat bread.
drink water. Yeah, cut down on complex carbohydrates and sugar, and in up your intake of protein, and get obsessed with getting abs. That's the other
Mm-hmm.
thing. Do a bunch of ab exercises. Do cardio to like shred the muscle. Get
Mhm.
shredded, it's not easy, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
get enough rest and drink water. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's the same regardless. If you want
yeah,
abs, you have to just get abs. That's what it is.
yeah,
Get
yeah,
obsessed with getting abs.
that makes sense, and if you get
And
it
it
oh,
doesn't
that
have to be
reminds
forever.
yeah, 100%, just until you get that get a couple shots on the gram, 6 pack, going the
Yeah,
Swolitariat, and then,
it is a little easier
have
to hang
Christmas.
on to abs than it is to like initiate the abdomen getting.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
I think so. Like once you have them, you're like it's like just watch your diet, and then if you lose them, you have a little less work to do to get them back than you did the initial time, and you
That's
know
good
the
to know.
process. It's gonna get
Good
harder as
to
we get older too, though. So you may as well
Of
do it now
course.
if you're interested.
That's the thing. It's like all this stuff, you really feel your mortality, right? It's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
drinking water, I'm doing this, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. You'll still probably get a little injured at some time to time.
Yeah.
And it gets really discouraging because our bodies are constantly in a form of decay, and it's just inevitable, And I think
Right.
you really feel that when you're starting to think about this kind of stuff. You start to feel like, oh yeah, I'm just older, and I physically can't, I'm not as strong as younger people, I'm not as fast, whatever.
Yeah,
And being
it's good
okay
to
with that.
acknowledge that stuff. It's good to acknowledge that stuff, but also, think of the psychological principle of the placebo effect and what the
Mhm.
power of positive thinking can do. Like, yeah, I'm getting older. I'm not a spring chicken. However, I can do this. And I'm totally
Mhm.
capable of it, and I'm stronger and smarter than I've ever been before, and I can do it.
Mm. Yeah.
And then, you know what I like to think about? Otani.
Mm.
Otani's up to bat. It's the World Series. He's the highest paid baseball player in history. He came to a country where everybody speaks his second language. He's up to bat. It's
Mhm.
the World Series. And Otani is solid. And he
Mhm.
knows he's going to smack that ball out of the park.
Mhm.
And the pressure's on because he's the highest paid baseball player in history. And he's
Yeah.
getting ready to either lose or win the World Series for his team. And Otani
Mhm.
cracks the ball
Yeah.
right where he wants it to go.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Mhm. Be like
Otani.
Otani. That's right.
I think the
Go
word
blue, baby.
Otani before I step on stage now.
That's
Otani.
awesome. I love it.
I'm
That's some good
Otani.
LA shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Otani. Just be Otani. Just
I'm
relaxed
Ot
about it
I'm
too.
Otani because God got me.
Yeah. Exactly. It's truly, yeah, just having the confidence. It's true. It's helpful. I think you told me a while back, like I was really worried about some injury I had, and you were like, some of it is also being worried about it will affect you.
Yeah.
Like if you're rolling with like that stress of like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get injured again. You'll be
Mhm.
tense, and you're more likely
You'll
to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be tense, and also there's like I think your body reacts to the stress and sends more inflammation, tries to get you to stop doing what you're doing.
Mm,
I've read there's a book related or not, there's a book called The Brain That Changes Itself, and it's about
mm,
neuroplasticity, which can be a buzzword, but it's real stuff. I mean, they're doing, like a lot of experiments about what the brain is capable of, and your brain is totally capable of making your back hurt. Have you ever read
mhm.
Healing Back Pain by
No,
Dr. John
you're
Sarno?
talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, you should check it out, dude.
I sh
Anybody who's experiencing back pain should check out Healing Back Pain by Dr. John Sarno. I don't want to give away at all what the book's about, but if your back is hurting and you read this book, it'll help you.
Mhm.
So,
I love it.
yeah.
I'll hit it up.
Yeah,
I'll hit
you
it up for
Otani,
sure.
dude.
I'm Otani. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that tonight when I go to the gym,
I'm Otani.
getting murked. I'm Otani. Wearing the blue. I'll wear my Dodgers getup. I really wish this is a total side tangent, but it'd be really cool. Just whoever has any connection to the LA Dodgers in Los Angeles listening to this, if the Dodgers had a rash guard, if there was some Dodgers gear, I'm sure it's possible to illegally license, but boy, that'd be nice.
You know
I
what,
would
dude?
rock
I
it.
mean, what are they gonna do? They're gonna I mean, as long as you're
Right.
not selling it on a massive commercial level, you can make your own rash guard.
Yeah, it's like the fucking B team. They did the Bulls thing and they sold it, so whatever. I'm sure they got a cease and desist, but like whatever. Why not? You know,
You know what? Come through.
YOLO, YOLO.
I'm Otani.
Tawny rash guard. I'm into it. That's cool. That's good shit. I think it's all good stuff in terms of just it sounds like a simple answer, but that's it, man. Stockham's razor. Just drink your water, stretch.
Get some sunshine because it'll give you
Yeah.
vitamin D, which is like healthy for your bones.
Is that right?
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, sunshine and water. We're flowers,
Mm-hmm.
bud.
Yeah, buddy.
You
Water 'em will
know,
grow. Yeah,
from acorns do mighty oaks grow,
that's right.
and they need sunshine and water, dude. I mean,
Yeah, that is a
it's
huge
pretty
part.
simple.
That's a huge part. Maybe not this kind of sunshine. This sunshine's a little abrasive. I went skate. Oh, this is a similar topic. I started another journey along with jujitsu. So now I'm a guy who plays music for a living, does jujitsu, sober fella. I'm also getting back into skateboarding. If I already didn't roll my dice too much about busting my ass over 30, I picked up a skateboard from my like step kid over here. He's 7. He's trying to get into like real skateboard territory, right? He had like a little kiddie one. He's like, I want a real one. I'm like, let's do this. So we went to the skate shop, bought him a real ass skateboard, and I got the bug right there. I saw this awesome skateboard with like a has like a Brazilian dinner on the bottom of it. It's got like feijoada and shit, like a plate, a cartoon. I'm like, dude, I love the skateboard. I'm like, you know what? I'm a grown man with my own money. I'm gonna buy one too. So we
Yeah,
both got skateboards, showing him
nice.
how to ollie, running around. I used to skate back in the day when I was a teenager. I never got past like a kickflip. Like I think I
Yeah,
landed 1 or 2 kickflips in my day and maybe jumped
yeah,
down like a 2 stair or something,
right.
and just skated
Me
around my
too.
friends and got into trouble. Yeah,
I
exactly.
couldn't do
So
a kickflip. I could do a heel flip though. I don't know why
that's
the
wild. That
kickflip
seems like it's
eluded me.
harder. Yeah,
It,
that's
it
wild.
wasn't for me. I
Interesting.
don't know.
I love that Instagram is now filled with this. That's another thing too. I kind of looking for skate parks. My algorithm got messed up and started showing me like dudes in Sao Paulo who are awesome skateboarding. So it got me into this like pipeline of skate videos on Instagram. And now there's tons of like how to kickflip, how to ollie, and then there's all these dudes who are like learning how to skate again after 40. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I did this. I just posted yesterday. I'm starting day 1, learning how to kickflip again at 37. So I'm doing that also. And dude, I went skating yesterday in the hottest day in record in Sao Paulo, and I almost died. It's like just doing like a few attempts at a kickflip, skating up and down the block a little bit. I came back in and I was like red, like I'd been in a sauna for 4 hours. It was intense,
Yeah.
but
Dang.
it's good. Feels
You
good.
know, it's funny. I was back home and I was like, Dad, where's my skateboard? Because I went home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, we don't have it anymore." And I was like, "Dang." Like this is like a couple
Yeah.
days ago.
Yeah.
So I feel you. I wanted to ride my skateboard. I miss it. I went into like a skate shop recently. That's so crazy that we're having this
Mm-hmm.
conversation. Went into a skate shop recently and was like, maybe I want a skateboard. And I was like, nah, James, you'll bust your ass. Just stick. You got too much stuff going on anyway right now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, so,
Mm-hmm.
you got a podcast. You're slacking on your jits. You need to get back into the gym now that your sciatica's gone. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
school. Da da da. Like,
Yeah.
everything's chilled out a little bit right now, but I'm ready to start like kicking it back into gear with the gym and jiu-jitsu.
Look, man. I miss being over here in my town. There's a lot of hills and not great like asphalt and kind of rough roads and stuff. But there's a lot of skate parks, which is a plus. So
Yeah.
going that, but God, I miss those nice Cali sidewalks, man.
Oh
The
yeah.
streets when I was a kid, just hearing that rhythm of the cracks as you go
Oh yeah.
by, nice and smooth. Wouldn't get
Did you ever
stuck in
ride
them.
on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
it's
god,
great.
that is some
So smooth.
sweet, sweet
Yeah.
concrete.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't want to put more shit on your plate. I know you're a busy man, but I bought this skateboard for around $70 US and fully loaded, trucks, everything on it. You know what I mean? The full
Mhm.
package, not just the deck.
Yeah.
And my man, I nothing. It I haven't felt as much like a kid in a long time, just getting on that
Yeah.
thing and riding around.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. You know you're in Hollywood. You're not far from that Walk of Fame. Just cruising on it. Not even if you try. Don't even try to jump or anything. Just cruising around on
I
the
do miss
boardwalk.
BMX bicycling.
Yeah,
I used to race BMX when I was a kid, and
yeah. We
I just miss like tooling around and riding on some dirt.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
possible, brother. It's
I know it's all
possible. They
possible.
got it out there, but
Listen, dude, I
yeah.
think that wraps it up for us on our episode
Mhm.
13. And I just wanted to say one more time to anybody who's listening, if you or someone you know is struggling with the disease of addiction, you can reach out to us and DM either one of us and we'll point you in the right direction. It is a sneaky, sneaky bastard, this disease, but let us be beacons of hope for you. It is possible to turn your life
Mhm.
around. And if you're
Mhm.
interested in doing that or you know someone that needs some help, hit us up.
Yeah. You just wanna skate around and shred. We'll be
You
there
wanna
for you,
get
bud.
shredded and
Get
skate
shredded,
in the heat? You wanna
get rid of our
move to a
dad
new
bods,
country?
mushroom
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
you
here
wanna
for it.
move to an you wanna move to another country? You wanna hang on to your edge? You need to get sober.
That's right, Bubby. Alright. Love you folks.
Love you. Take care, and we will talk to you on the flippy floppy.